Hello there, welcome back to my channel and this video, which is my next installment of the anniversary series. This is the series where I choose a favorite look from a year ago and I recreate it with my current level of skills. So here's the picture that I'm using as my inspiration. This was June 2021, and you can see I did something like that, only hopefully better. I used 3 different palettes to do this look, and I love how it turned out. So if you're interested in seeing it, then don't go anywhere. If you're new to my channel, hey, my name's Rachel. I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow, and I typically upload at least 3 videos a week, all eyeshadow related content. YouTuber tags, tons of chatty get ready with me's. If you're interested in seeing colorful eyeshadow content on your timeline, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. So to recreate today's inspiration picture, I've chosen 2 different palettes. I have the Flare palette from Ace Beauté. The eye look is sort of a smoky eye. It starts off with a yellow and then it sort of grades down into an orange vermilion kind of color and then into a purple. So for the here's the vermilion I'm going to use, and here's the purple. I may deepen it further with this shade right here, I'm not sure. I could do the whole look within this palette, but I didn't want to use this yellow because I think it's a little bit too mustardy, too like neutral tone. So I grabbed Limoncello from Colourpop, and I'm going to use this yellow instead. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit more yellow and less brown undertones. So that's my plan. Let's get started. So in my inspiration picture, it goes yellow, orange, purple, and stops there. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna take a small blending brush and I'm gonna grab the shade Acorn within the Flare palette. And I'm gonna lay this right at the base of my lashes. I don't know very much. I mean, I think that the actual definition of a smoky eye is one which starts out really dark at the base of the lashes and then works its way lighter and lighter as you go. I mean, it never gets really light because it's supposed to be smoky and moody, but I think it starts dark at the lashes and goes from there. Although I have heard people talk about smoky eyes in, you know, where it's all smoked out, but it's not dark to light, it's more light to dark. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should just look it up. I don't know. I heard somebody say that it was more dark to light working your way down towards the lashes, but I mean, that makes sense to me. That might not be like the textbook definition, but honestly, I don't care that much because they're all pretty. Maybe I'll look it up just so that I know and I don't sound like a twit. Now with that same brush, I'm gonna grab the shade Aubergine, which is the purple shade. I'm gonna put this on most of my lid, starting at the Acorn shadow and then kind of working up. I think I might end up deepening Acorn a little bit. I might just go in with a black. I'm not sure how I feel about that brown, honestly. But I'm starting Aubergine at the edge of Acorn and then blending upwards a bit. Not all the way into the crease, so I'm not completely covering my lid space, but most of it. That's the wrong color. Nice. Okay, I did decide I wanted a black because I don't think it's going deep enough. So I grabbed Paradise Fallen from Ace Beauté, and there's a black in here called Black Out. So with that same brush, I'm just dipping into that and putting that on top of the brown Acorn shade. That's better. It's just a little bit, but you see it made such a huge difference. Now I'm going back into Aubergine and working those together now. This month had almost gotten away from me before I remembered I needed to do a look of the month. I'm like, gee, because I'm filming this on June 21st. I was like, oh wait, I need to do this before June is over. That's kind of the point. I'll probably blend more a little bit later, but now I'm gonna take the same brush again. I'm just using this brush for everything, I guess. I'm gonna grab Pumpkin, which is a lovely orangey red vermilion kind of shade. I'm placing Pumpkin right at the edge of Aubergine and blending it into the crease. Now you can certainly do this the opposite way. Start with the lightest shades and then work darker. If you have a formula that doesn't build very well upon itself, that's probably not the tack that you want to take. Or if you have, I don't know, if you have to be careful that you don't lay down too much product. So you have, you know, like 4 layers to build on top of by the time you finally get to the darkest shade. You certainly can do it. I think I've done it before. I just decided this time to start dark and work light. And now I'm gonna take a fluffier blending brush. In the Limoncello palette, I'm gonna grab the shade Amalfi, and I'm gonna start by dipping in really lightly. And this is gonna blend out towards the brow now. So I'm laying it down at the edge of that vermilion color and just really gently going back and forth. Okay, so now I'm going to take the first blending brush I was using and just go back in with all the other shades and build them up. I'm going to start now working light to dark, so I'm taking Pumpkin, placing that down again, Now it's just a matter of blending. Like, I have all the colors in place, but it's looking a little bit stripey. And of course I don't want it to look stripey. So I'm placing the color and then blending it. And placing and blending, on and on we go. I think that's looking pretty good for now. I'm going to take a pretty fluffy and slightly pinched blending brush, going into Amalfi, and I'm going to lay this on my lower lash line. For my lower lash line, I'm going to do all the same colors, except I'm going to work light to dark with progressively smaller brushes. So Amalfi's going down with a pretty fluffy blending brush, just to lay down that very light transition color. Then I'll take the original blending brush that I've been using for most colors. I'm going to grab Pumpkin, place that down next, starting in the outer corner, making sure I meet up with where the shades appear out here, and then dragging it in. I'm not going to go all the way into my inner corner with these darker shades because it's going to make me look pretty tired. So I'm going to keep the very inner corner of the lower lash line empty, and I'll brighten it up with something later, just to grab a highlight. But I'm taking the rest of the shades and dragging them on about 2/3 of the lower lash line. Now with a smudger brush, I'm taking Aubergine and going in again a little bit closer to the lashes, just getting darker and smaller and more precise as we go. Always making sure that I meet up with the outer colors here so that it all blends together nicely. And then finally I'm taking this brush, it's totally flat. I'm going to use this to grab the black shade that I had from Paradise Fallen and place it as close as I can to my lashes, like right into the lash line. With my blending brush, I'm going here just to work these edges together a little bit, soften everything out. I do feel like it's still a little bit too stripy. I'm not sure what it is that I don't love, but I'm just gonna go back and forth with the blending brush and work these colors together until it gets to a point that I'm happy with. Okay, so I figured out what was annoying me. I felt like there wasn't enough of a dark base on most of the lid space, so it was like light colors and then all of a sudden dark, but that darkness started too far down. So I took the black and I just gently blended it up much higher on the lid, and then I put the purple over top of it all the way down except to the very base of the lashes. What you're doing when you create a black base is you're basically making a darker version of whatever color you're using. The same is true for when you want to deepen an outer corner. You can, you know, let's say you have a blue. So you put down your blue and then you want to make it darker, so you put down a black. But then it looks like blue-black, and it could take a lot of blending to get it to work together, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want it to just seem like a darker blue, then you can use that black as a foundation and then put more blue on top of the black. Now you've just got a darker version of your original color, so it has more of a gradient effect, and that's what I did here. So I brought the black almost, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way up my lid, but then I overlaid it with the purple most of the way. So now it's like a darker version of the purple, and that helps the gradient. I think that's looking better. I didn't want a distinct line of orange in the crease and then purple and black. I wanted it to blend more. I think it's looking nice. I want to grab an inner corner highlight. I've decided to use the shade Orion from Paradise Fallen because I think it'll be fine. So I've just got, that's the wrong brush. So I'm gonna take a small pencil brush, if I can find it. A small pencil brush, grab Orion, and I'm gonna spray it so that I get some precision and some shine. And I'll place this on my inner corner right here and then drag it onto the inner third of the lower lash line. Basically until I meet these mats and then no further. I'm not going to carry it up into the inner corner. It's just, I mean, it's on the inner corner and that's it. It's not going up any higher because I don't want to mess up the smoky eye effect. But I did want to brighten the lower lash line area. For my waterline, I'm grabbing a lovely aubergine colored eyeliner. This is a creme gel liner from ColourPop in the shade Plum Smash. And I'm going to place this on the whole waterline. Oh, that's such a pretty color. And there you go. So that's the eye look. I'm going to go off camera and finish everything up with some eyeliner and mascara and whatnot, and then I'll be back to show you how it turned out. Okay guys, here is how it turned out. I did put a black eyeliner on my top lashes, but I didn't wing it out. On my lips, I'm wearing a ColourPop lip oil in the shade Hey. And then I'm trying out this new ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade No Vacancy. It's actually a really beautiful color, and I don't usually wear any blush at all, but I'd heard Angelica Nyqvist rave about the Super Shock, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it's really soft and nice. Because I don't use blush, I don't really know anything about blush, so I wouldn't know if it wasn't nice, I guess, unless it was truly terrible. But I mean, I like it. It's nice, pretty color. I have a little bit on my face and I have some mascara, and that is everything. So I think the eye look turned out quite pretty. I actually felt like I'd done it before recently, so I went back in my YouTube feed. I'm like, have I done this? Am I just duping myself? But I couldn't find anything where I'd done this look more recently. I think I'm just thinking that I've done it a year ago, and so it looks familiar because I'd seen that picture on my phone, like saved, you know, here's your look of the month for June. I think that's all it is. I did certainly do it better this time, and it's funny because this eye, in my opinion, is much better than this eye. I feel like over here, I was just trying things out and I made a couple mistakes, whereas over here, I had a better idea of what to do, and so I brought the black higher on the lid space, and so it all just feels more blended over on this side, whereas over here I still feel like it's a bit stripy. Now it's really subtle. I don't know that anybody would notice, you know, if they're just looking at me, probably because I'm pointing it out to you, you might notice, but this side's the prettier one. I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit more blended, a little more put together. I think it's really pretty. I love the colors together. Overall, I'm happy with the eye look. I'm happy with my anniversary video. I hope you liked it. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see lots more colorful content on your timeline, and until I see you again in my next video, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye! Itself. On my lips, I'm wearing a, on my lips. This is not my lips. Oh my word. I'm such a mess.